Hello, this is James Rolfe. I directed The Deader the Better, and here are my comrades.
Hi, I'm Stephen Klasky, and I played Lloyd.
I'm Jason Goodrich. I played Earl Fiddles.
My name is Dan Webster. I played the Casket Zombie.
I'm Bob Mack. I got my head shoved up my ass.
I'm Gina Selby. I got hacked with a chainsaw.
I'm Kathleen Webster, and I'm Ground Zombie.
I'm Tara Weiss, and I'm Intestinal Zombie.
I'm John Repash, and I was Chainsaw Zombie 2.
The sequel.
Not quite as good as it.
Here I am trying to avoid knocking down the styrofoam. It's
Drinking your water-flavored beer.
There we go. Kathy was underground, underneath a
It's my
platform
lovely bride.
covered in dirt and bugs and cobwebs and God knows what.
Is that what she looks like in the morning, Dan?
I wish. She does the eyes, though.
It was a team effort to get this effect to work, this first one. We just filled this balloon with fake blood, and we tried to balance it on top of this dummy of the shoulders. And there goes the blood. Oh, would you believe I missed on that first take, throwing all that blood on the tombstone. It was a bunch of meat and Kool-Aid.
Is that what those lumps were? Ew.
It's a lot of Kool-Aid. I'm sure everybody here has had a taste of meat-flavored Kool-Aid.
It's me.
Yeah, it was lovely.
Yeah, the one
First time I've ever heard his
intestine
last
scene, I was
name.
licking my fingers and
I know, say.
I forgot that it was raw meat. And so,
I
yeah,
remember that.
didn't end well.
A little extra protein in there.
Embalming
For dummies,
Yeah.
Yeah, we had the book Embalming for Dummies.
First
What?
edition.
And there's the classic
There
wedding.
you go. That was the hardest.
was
It
tough.
took
My
like
cameo.
seven takes just to get it.
And when I turned
How to pick your butt.
You know it's bad when the director's holding his nose in his mouth trying not to laugh.
I turned my head so I wouldn't see it, and I still heard like grunting. And
How's your zombie built?
All right. I'll get it when I'm finished with this.
Better do it before the brains.
It was very surreal being in a cemetery, but really being in my garage.
I know. Yeah, but it looked
awesome.
awesome.
Well, yeah,
It
looked
was
like
an awesome
Yeah.
setup.
It doesn't look like you're not.
No.
I hate
I
it
like
when
the
you
little
do
fan
that.
room in the bag,
Why do
personally.
you have to make it so hard to clean up?
That's just me.
Kind of like the smoke inhalation myself.
Mhm.
There's a lot of smoke.
No.
Yeah, every time when the room would just fill with smoke, and sometimes there was
Just
so
those
much
corpses
fog
you
that
butcher, they
whenever it
have
would be
fans.
too much, there's no way to like
Why can't you
ventilate
have
it
any
other than to
respect?
open the garage
Open
door.
Open the door, let it out, and then fill it back
Fill it
up.
up.
We
Yeah,
We
and
all
we
go
made up
running
our
out.
own term.
Just to
Our
show
own
the
term
brain
was
and
called
break it down
Cheech
in
and
the most
Chong in it.
efficient
So every
manner.
time when it would get real foggy, it would be like, all right, it's time to Cheech and Chong it.
Everybody's a little bit closer to cancer.
That one time we got stuck behind a curtain and it wouldn't shut off.
Right.
And we were like dying.
And
back
he's
there.
yelling, enough fog. We're like,
We can't shut it off.
Don't stop.
And a complication with this scene was we couldn't mess up that tombstone yet because we hadn't yet shot like all the different scenes in order. So like we basically had to pretend that tombstone had the blood on it. I didn't want to stain it yet, so I filmed it messy later on. Very very shot out of order. We a lot of it was shot in order of like continuity, like blood on their clothes. We had two sets of clothes for both Jason and Steve. Some of them shot for depending on weather. Sometimes there were a few exteriors, although most of it was inside the garage.
I love that.
I know we told me
That's
about
how I
that.
wake her up.
Talk about taking her when she's down.
And this is the same place where the cemetery is. This garage, we had to tear the cemetery down to shoot this scene. And because it's so out of order, we kind of had to figure out how much blood there would be on Lloyd.
Because it makes him
Come on, Lloyd, that's enough.
And the easiest it would be was just very, very little.
So we can get a nice rest.
Continuity was very hard for this movie.
Why don't they just give him pajamas?
I think it's the stillest I've ever seen.
I was so hot.
That was a
They
long
had to
shoot.
keep drying me off the towel. It was so hot in the garage.
Wearing lots,
Reflecting too much
lots
light.
of very
Lots
cheap
of makeup.
bling.
Cheap bling.
Cheap bling,
They're
yeah.
trying to make him look like a fresh corpse.
I like the
So his
contacts.
makeup
The
was
contacts are awesome.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, first time I saw him, he told me he was albino people. I actually believed him until I heard about it.
And Dan, during the scene, I actually did punch you once.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes, yes.
I asked you to really hit me. He wouldn't do that, but
He said like sorry, and he's like, no, do it some more.
Yeah, I felt so
Dan's
bad.
continuing
I
the
punched him.
scene.
It was so hard to watch you get hit with that knife over and over again. That sound, that thud on your chest. After a while, it was like, oh, okay, that's enough.
Look, great effect.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, everybody did a pretty good job bringing that tube up through him, just with pumps just squirting the blood out through his clothes. And he's laying down, so it's just basically most of the blood just staining his
How are we gonna
clothes. So he's
explain
laying
this
there
one?
just soaked.
And it was
Casket
late.
was like
It
full.
was late.
It was
Really?
late. Remember, it
Yeah.
ended really late.
This was like the last. This was the last scene we
Yeah.
shot.
Yeah.
wasn't it?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I missed it.
I remember just being like, "Here's the finish line. This is
That's right.
we see the
Luckily up
finish
there
line, but it's a
because
mile away."
We had taken the cemetery down by
Yeah, that's right. This is just outside that same garage.
Yeah, I will. Starting right now.
I like the shovel.
Yeah. This is where the movie starts to take that turn, where it starts to become, where the comedic aspect starts to really come out.
The
How
music.
much
He
fake,
cleans up the cemetery
how much
by
fake
throwing-
beer did you
Throwing
bring?
beer bottles.
Or was it
I'm
real?
gonna clean it up now. Throw another beer bottle on the
Here
ground.
comes Robert. Looking great.
There you go, Bob. Anything to say about this performance?
I look at Amish with my beer.
Amish
I
zombie.
now realize
Oh, we
what's
used
staying
wax
my
on
way.
your face, didn't we? And the wax started
And then
like
there
melt.
is nothing there on my
And it
face.
just melted off his face.
So by the end, I just look like a normal person that he's ripping the head off of.
I know it's funny. Most of the time, not many other people walked in during the shooting, but I remember during this scene, this is where my mom walked in, just as we were doing the spinal, in the the ass scene.
Here's looking at you.
Great spinal cord.
I like the sound effects are awesome.
It was a tough
Enough
effect
blood
to
there
get
to
that to work.
lubricate.
I thought Robert was great in the scene.
How are you going to show
really
people
great.
what you did?
You said that was my stand-in.
It's on my resume.
I definitely have to say that is a very original way of killing someone.
Yeah.
What made you think of that?
I'm trying to
A
think of
bizarre
something that hasn't been done before. Yeah,
And
if it hasn't
the
been done-
effects
and there's
going
James.
from the whole head to a squished head,
Tarantino.
it's
The
really
red
good.
stars.
Yeah.
And then after
I
we
love this
decided
scene.
to pick it up
This
and
is-
add eyes and
Yeah,
then.
yeah.
All those last minute ideas.
Yeah, that was my idea.
A lot of it was,
Is that
I
acting
thought
or
you were
what?
going to go into the thriller dance.
Yeah, right.
I should have did the thriller dance,
It just looked like he walked out of a bar before you.
Oh, that's right. We
That's
were
what
thinking
I
of
forgot.
but it got too late.
doing an outtake for the
Oh, that's right. I know what you're saying.
Yeah, I love really bad sandals.
I'm sitting there in white dress with white sneakers on.
You had a strange family that buried you that way.
I'm surprised we
not
fit
far from the
everybody in
truth.
that.
She just wanted to be able to
Yeah.
run away from the devil when she
Yeah.
got there.
He must
Here
really
comes
like that
Dave.
book. He doesn't look up at all.
Dave was great here too.
That's one thing that didn't get a credit. That cricket that kept sounding
Oh, yeah.
every time we tried to do a dialogue.
Yeah, I remember that. It would only make noise when we were shooting.
Action.
Cricket played by Jiminy.
Too bad Dave here, who's playing the zombie, he can't be with us here today, but perhaps.
Well, James told me about the project and I was immediately intrigued. I had never worked in the horror genre before, and the whole idea of killing zombies, seeing heads splatter and blood splurted everywhere, I immediately was intrigued. Every day is something new. You're splitting open someone's head or ripping out their intestines or just stabbing the fuck out of them.
I knew I had to have some good shadow shots in the movie, so we lit this.
And it shadowed how
And
really
this
weak
was
I
the
am.
this was the good shot. This was the one that was gonna make the film.
Batter up, bitch boy.
The thing Steve thought about, like, On the spot.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, 3 or 4
Go to a
different
baseball game and
different
say that out
things.
loud.
Oh, this was brutal.
Does those things, Howard. I'll give him that.
That was a lot of fun to do too.
Certainly take a punch.
Mm-hmm.
And it's great. Most of it was shot separate. You guys weren't even together. Like I shot both your things same.
Cool.
That's
Very cool.
That was a
Wild.
cool
Yeah,
effect.
that was very cool. You okay, Earl?
Yeah, I'm good. You alright?
And there I am again. I just can't put that book down. It's got to have nudie pictures. That's why I wouldn't pull my head up out of that book.
Here. Use this.
And the passing of the torch.
It always works.
Thanks, Dad.
Yep, this is the passing the torch scene.
I love
It's
stories.
just so sweet.
It was also kind of improvised
It's
too.
a
I mean, that
riveting
wasn't,
family affair.
I'm not worried.
that wasn't in the original script.
No, it wasn't actually. Not the dialogue.
Right.
Yeah, not at all. Really, not the whole passing of
what we're
the
made
show.
of.
A lot of these effects I just figured out later.
The eye movement is classic. That's perfect.
First thing you do is spit the blood out right in your eye.
That was one
You're not
messy
screaming
night.
from the pain of the
That was
chainsaw. It's from
Now here we go
10
with the
pounds of
sausage.
Oh yeah.
That's awesome.
Just cold and wet and oozy.
We will
It
never
really looks
eat
like it's
sausage
coming
again.
out of her.
Yeah,
You know, he
yeah.
just flings
No, I
it back
won't.
like, well,
I knocked over like
I
10
left something here.
That's me. You can kill him.
It's very hard to get a straight face while doing
I think you were great, Gene.
There's half a Gina.
This was
Chainsaw.
originally supposed to be like a really fast-paced montage, but it actually came out more coherent than I thought. Like an actual, played more like a regular scene than I actually expected. So it's strange that things originally in your mind they start to change later.
Yeah.
They start to,
The sunrise
time was it
sunrise
when you were
scene
doing this in the
was
cemetery?
really
Oh,
good
yeah.
considering it was
In the morning?
sunset.
It was actually
No,
in
this
the
was- yeah,
sunset. It's
at night,
supposed to be
yeah.
morning, but we shot it at sunset, which actually, since you can't really tell the difference, the clouds are all digital and everything. So I kind of just made the sun look like it's rising.
Oh yeah. I guess I was feeling a little creative.
That was
That was like an ad lib one too.
Yeah.
So lots
The
of stuff.
pride.
I love the fingers and the eyeballs.
my film debut. My head's up my arm.
Yeah, here's Robert here. Oh, there's Robert over there too.
Those tombstones kept falling down the wind.
Yeah.
Remember that? We had so many people just on tombstone patrol, just
Yeah.
setting them back up.
Yeah,
Couldn't
we
really
should
touch
say
this
this
tombstones
part of it
either.
was not in the garage. These tombstones were reset out in the field.
Yeah.
Who knows why it only happens at night?
There's an abandoned raceway, and this is right in the middle of that raceway. You could actually see some of the track behind them in that last shot.
A responsibility.
This is also the same raceway where we shot the driving scene at the end.
Their glasses.
Oh, yeah, we wanted to have the blood kind of around where
Glass
the
marks
goggle
on the
line
outside.
was.
Yeah. Visiting hours are real soon.
It's subtle, but it's there.
We put our glasses on to finish the cleaning.
Oh,
So-
okay.
Oh,
Being
yeah, there's
careful
the
not to
digital files.
actually touch the tombstones because of the
You might notice
crackling
the little
sound.
dummy laying in there,
Yeah, so
which we sort of named Roy on the set. Roy was the dummy used in almost every scene you see where there's something, that's not a person.
My friend's right. Work sucks.
And here's the only scene where we actually used a real cemetery.
Yeah.
Where'd you find a real cemetery?
Yeah, the idea is that as they're leaving, everything starts to turn more into reality. As the whole, artificialness of the movie, shooting in like the fake cemetery and everything, it seems as they get into the heart of this supernatural area, that's when everything starts to look fake. But now it's like he's coming back in the real world.
Like in Dusk, it was like the fake tombstones outside, and then it's real.
Yeah.
James originally wanted to use his own car, which is a year old, maybe. And I told him, "You're crazy. Do not use your new car. I spent $400 on my car. Please use mine." I managed to clean it all up, but there was white zombie makeup all over the seats. There was spaghetti sauce concoction for blood in the sill that the window comes out of. And for about a month afterwards, every time I put my window up and down, there was nasty meat residue on my window. And also my rearview mirror was knocked off in the process of the struggle between Lloyd and the car zombie.
Inside the car was just full of blood. And Steve's lap, and here we go with the melon. Stuffed the melon up with all the blood.
Great.
This is where my years of being a precision driver paid off. Here we go.
Boom.
And
interesting.
I actually did run Mike's head over in that scene.
This shot of this face, or those teeth are real teeth. My next door neighbor actually gave me his old wisdom teeth and was like, use it in a movie.
You see that in the credits. Next door neighbor's teeth.
You should put that in the credits.
That's the scariest thing I've seen so far.
I don't think we needed to know that, actually. And he spelled my last name correctly, that's all.
All right, cool. So it was a fun film. I hope
Jason Goodrich.
everybody was
Is
entertained.
that your last name? It's his last name too.
So any last words? Anybody?
Well, I thought you did a great job, and
Awesome.
the pay was
It
awesome.
was definitely
Very good job, yeah.
a lot of fun. The catering service did just...
Nugget wings.
Yes, catering. We got to give catering
Yeah,
her props. She did a very good job.
Oh, and just so
Actually,
you
thought it was-
viewers know, we're really fresh off of watching this for the first time. This is like the premiere when we're doing this commentary. It's our second time seeing it, everybody. So yeah, everybody was great.
He's signing autographs in the corner after he's done.
You and your mic? You and your boom.